Welcome back, everyone, to Beholder to No One presents Behold Clearlight. I am your Dungeon Master, Ryan Williams, and joining me here are Nikki,
Rissa Lanner,
Greg,
Grigthos Steady Hand,
Ashley,
Emmy Frankincense.
and Keith.
Seuss.
All right, are we all ready?
hell yeah.
Yep.
Yup, let's do it.
Greetings. I am the esteemed Korsoth Vastikan, and I am here to tell you of the end of this journey. The foolish mortals you follow ventured northward into a former place of learning to plunder it of its former students' successes. Having nearly lost one of their own to an ambush by a stealthy predator, they set about returning to their glittering prison. Along the way, they encountered a beast of many limbs that sought to bring them into the flesh, but they fought against it and destroyed this more fully realized being. Now they have come across Baron Malgus and myself. Now, observe as we bring them into the unity of the flesh. As we know, last time you were approached by Baron Malgus and Korsoth Vastikan, although I'm not sure you knew their full names. They are standing before you talking about bringing you into the unity of the flesh. You have 10 seconds to decide what you're doing. You all look at each other. And give each other a look of, are we fighting or are we running?
Zeus just pulls out his sword.
Right?
Run.
Can we just talk about this for a second? And can we just say, hard pass, we just want to go home. Can you just move, please?
Baron Malgus is lifting up his massive hammer and walking towards you.
Is that a no?
I mean, he moved.
Big lumbering footsteps.
What is the unity of the flesh? Is this something, maybe it's something we might be interested in.
Nope.
That actually, Baron Malgus continues to slowly walk towards you, but Vastikan actually lowers his bow for a moment. Who knows what it is. And there is no mouth to speak, but sort of just emanating from its darkened face, you hear it say, "The unity of the flesh is all of us becoming one, once more, like we all should have been from the very beginning. It is convergence. It is all of us returning to the God of flesh. Let us show you." And it begins to pull back the bow again and aim it at you.
Oh.
No. No, I'll pass. And I will ready a spell to cast that. One
Well,
of them.
what I need to know is, are we rolling initiative or are we trying to run away?
I want to try to run
two of us-
away.
Two of us are rolling initiative, at least.
I'm
Right.
running. I'm very low on health points, so I'm running.
Well, once again, you can all like look at each other like, are we fighting? Are we running? You all like look at each other and just like.
We're kind of half-half right now.
You see Seuss pull out his sword.
We can try to run. One has a bow and arrow, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zeus will just look back at everybody else and be like, we should go.
Yeah. I mean, we need to get back to the city.
All right.
Guess we're running.
All right. Okay, we're running then. In order to make this not just a thing where we just say, we run away, and then you do that, I have a little thing planned for this, in case you didn't want to fight, which I sort of suspected might be the case. We're going to do sort of like a modified version of a skill challenge from 4th edition, which I learned from the wonderful DM Matthew Colville. Definitely go check him out.
Nice name drop, Ryan. Jesus.
Shameless plug. But the way this works is that everyone is going to you're going to think of ways that you can use your skills, as in like the skills like animal handling, athletics, nature, whatever you have, things that you're proficient in. And you are going to use those to just come up with ways that they could help you escape from these creatures. So, and you're gonna just think of like some way that one of them can help you, and just call it out like, hey, can I use, for example, like nature to identify a deer path through the forest and allow us an easier path through a particularly dense thicket. Something like that.
Okay.
I've got it.
I'm going to be, based on the thing that you say and the creative ways that you're using your skills, I will very quickly decide a DC in my head. You will roll that skill, and based on the number of successes and failures you get, good things or bad things will happen.
Okay.
So what we want is for everyone to be shouting out their skills all at the same time so that no one can hear anything.
Athletics.
I say we can still like roll initiative if you want us
Arcana.
to, like kind of like keep it from
Yes, that's
overlapping.
actually a good idea. Let's do that. We'll have
Okay.
everyone roll initiative, and we'll go in that order, and everyone will think of a skill that they want to use and explain how they want to use that skill and how they think it will help, and I will decide whether I think that's a good idea or not. And
I'll give you one
will
guess what my skill choice is.
Now, if we're proficient in nature, can we use the thing that you just mentioned?
there's nothing in the rules that a dog can't play basketball, so I don't see why you couldn't do this.
Are you sure?
I mean, there was like 2 movies about it, so it's fine.
It's a true story, okay?
That wasn't a movie, it was a documentary.
All right, so has everyone rolled initiative?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, 25 to 20?
Nope.
Okay. 20 to 15.
18.
Krista got a 15.
All right. And what did Emmy get?
18.
All right.
I roll really well on initiative. I
When
don't
it's
know
just
why.
when it's just you two left, I'm just gonna say, what did Gregthos get?
13.
13. And Seuss?
5.
Okay. Okay, so we will go in that order, and I will just call your name, and you just think of whatever skill you think would be helpful in escaping these two. As you run off to the right, try to lose them in some of the buildings and start making your way towards the city. Baron Malgus is very clearly not a very fast runner, but he sort of like rolls his face. He doesn't really have eyes that you can see.
His whole face.
But there's some sort of like the body language becomes exasperation, and it tilts its head up at Vastikan, who begins to leap from building to building to attempt to follow you. Emmy, what are you doing?
I am going to use perception in order to see if there is a easy way out that might hide us from these 2 guys. Like, pretty much put us out of sight.
All right, great. That sounds good to me. Go ahead and roll.
I rolled a 16.
All right. That is going to be a success. So, and also feel free to be creative with it. You can be like, if you think, oh, I'm going to use athletics to push a boulder out of the way of a door and then rush everyone inside and push the boulder back over. Like, all these things come into existence as you say them.
I was gonna say, like, I wanted to see if maybe there was like a crumbled building that looks like it could potentially hide us, pretty much just like out of sight, especially of the guy with the bow and arrow, because if we can get ourselves under cover, at least he can't hit us. I mean, we still have to deal with the big guy with the hammer, but I thought maybe if we can get in a building or something that might hide us from the bow and arrow guy.
That's great, because that is exactly what I was going to describe just now. You see an opening through a building on your left side, so you rush inside, ducking into the darkness out of the line of sight of Vastikan, who's leaping from the rooftop to rooftop. So you lose Vastikan for just a moment. Unfortunately, Baron Malgus bursts through a wall.
Kool-Aid skylight.
Exactly. Sending just ancient structures crumbling all around him, and begins to make chase.
Screaming, oh yeah, the whole time.
I was gonna say that. I was like, oh yeah.
He would say more like, oh yeah.
There you go, alright.
Oh god. I'm not okay with that.
All right. That is going to bring us to Rissa. What are you going to do?
I am going to look at these guys and go, is that the Mount of Flash over there? There's like 16 more people. You should go get them. And like point in a different direction, trying to convince them to look away so I can
Okay, the classic look over there trick. Okay.
You could have like 16 more followers.
Okay. Beautiful. Go ahead and roll.
run. All right. So is that gonna be deception?
You're choosing what skill it is and then describing what you're doing
I
based on.
want it to be persuasion, but technically I'm
Yeah,
lying. So
I was say deception. It's pretty deception.
that is going to be. Where is my thing? I rolled a 6, but I can't roll lower than a 10, so it's a 17.
Damn.
All right.
Bards.
That I'm gonna say that is just enough with that insane thing that you've done.
Look over there, Dart.
Baron Malgus doesn't appear to be very intelligent. So he is momentarily distracted at the prospect of crushing more bodies into horrible mounds, and briefly looks over to the direction that you pointed, and then you are all able to duck down into a hallway and actually emerge out on the other side of a building into an alleyway, and you continue to run.
Could I do one thing after I run?
What do you mean? What are you trying to do?
I want to cast invisibility on myself.
You know what? I should have mentioned this. Anytime that it's your, when you're talking about what skill you want to use, you can also choose to use a spell or a wild shape or,
Okay.
I don't know, a superiority dice. If you use a consumable resource, that counts as an automatic success. You still have to say how you're using it.
Okay.
But that counts as a success just because you're like expending resources to do it. Or you can just use a skill that you and roll the dice.
I will save it then
Okay.
for next time.
Great. That is going to bring us to Grethos.
Can I just say before I say my thing, I was really hoping, because you said the whole thing like, oh, I'll give you one guess to know what my skill is. I thought you were going to do persuasion, and you were going to turn around and look at the now realized Kool-Aid man and go, but what about oh no?
Oh,
He's like,
oh no, indeed.
That would have been great.
Oh no.
I'm
indeed.
sorry I didn't think of it.
Yeah, well, we can edit it in post. It's fine.
With your
Just,
voice
just
on
say
it.
exactly what
Yeah,
I just said, and
it
there
was
you
great.
go.
All right, if anyone out there is listening, we're looking for a new player.
You can't kick me from my own podcast.
No, I'm talking about Greg.
Oh,
What a shock. Okay. Anyway, would I be able to use history to kind of know the basic layout of the area that we're in currently? Maybe I know of this particular building used to be some kind of lab where they created explosives. So maybe we run into that direction and light something to kind of give smokescreen or something to that extent.
That I like that. Creativity will
Awesome.
be rewarded with lower DCs. So go ahead and roll.
Go, Greg.
14.
That is going to be enough. That is your third success.
Yeah.
And once we get up to a certain number of successes, then I'm not going to tell you how many. That means you've won. You did it. If you have too many failures, you lose. And I guess in this particular case, that means they catch up and kill you.
we
Oh,
become
no.
one with the flesh mound.
Yeah.
It'll probably just be initiative. That's the. You'll have to fight them, and we'll have not escaped. But Seuss, what's your plan? How are you contributing to this escape?
Zeus is probably going to make sure he's behind everybody else just in case they do happen to catch up, so that they grab him first. But he is just going to be using his athletics to run as fast as he can and kind of zigzag and making it more difficult for them as much as he possibly can.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
Human meat shield.
That is an 11.
Oof. That is not going to be enough.
Oh no.
So I fully forgot to describe the previous one, but you duck into a building where Grethos says that somehow he knows that this ancient large building that you're passing through once held explosives, and sure enough, after a very quick look around the room, you manage to find these strange glowing orbs, and you just run through the building and toss them behind you and cause a massive explosion that brings the building almost down on top of Malgus, and Vasticon is forced to leap across the street with an insane amount of grace. It almost looks like he's moonwalking with how little he seems to actually need to touch the ground in his pursuit.
Do we do that cool like slow-mo action thing when the explosions go behind us? Like
If you would like to, you certainly can.
We're running. We have no time for this. Let's go.
All of a sudden,
sorry.
you're all going in slow motion for some reason.
well that would explain the 11 that Seuss got. That's us trying to do slow motion things.
As the building crumbles behind you, Seuss, you are intentionally keeping yourself at the back. You probably could outrun most of these people, but you're intentionally keeping yourself at the back to avoid having them be caught first. A noble pursuit, perhaps, but a noble pursuit that causes rubble from the crumbling building to hit you. So you are going to take a small amount of damage, or perhaps not a small amount. Hold on a second. Okay, you are going to take 10 bludgeoning damage as the building behind you, like rubble, crumbles and hits you in the back of your leg. All right, that is going to bring us back up to Emmy.
Oh, it's my turn already.
Yes.
Okay. Well, since that happened, I am going to actually cast Spirit Guardians. I think I can cast that pretty far. Let me see. Oh no, it's
Spirit
around
Guardians.
myself.
Yeah, that's the one that is just
Yeah.
following you. It probably would, if they get close enough for that to have a serious effect on them, it's probably a bad time.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna put that just in case, like in case they get really, because it's up to 15 feet. So if they get even 15 feet away from us, like I want to make sure that it pretty much pushes them back. So
All right.
like at least they'll take damage if they try to get close to us.
Right. Okay. So that it just does damage, right? It doesn't do anything else.
Yeah, it just does damage, but it goes around us for 15 feet.
Okay.
And every time they enter the area, they're going to get a lot of damage to them. So, and it lasts for 10 minutes as long as I continue to concentrate. So I'm gonna make sure to have that around us just to kind of keep us safe if they do get close.
All right. So you slow down for just a second and cast your Spirit Guardian spell, and the angels once again reappear. Just as Baron Malgus rushes at you with his hammer, ready to swing, but the angels all harry him and slow him down just long enough for you to continue running and catch up with the rest of the group.
I like to think they do an interpretive dance to kind of confuse him.
That certainly would be confusing, and since you used a resource, that counts as a success.
Oh, that was the last of my 3rd level spells. But at least it'll last us a while, hopefully.
All right. Rissa, what is your next move?
Rissa, after she darts off and when she confuses them, sees that they get right on top of Seuss, and she's like, "Oh shit! Nope, invisibility." And she casts invisibility at a 2nd level.
Okay, so and you're casting it on him, on Seuss, or yourself?
I have to cast it on myself because I have to touch the person.
Ah, okay. Well, if you are saying that they are following, you said you're doing it as they get close to Seuss?
Well, I saw that they were getting closer and that they were close to all of us. So I'm
I
like,
see.
I don't want to be seen. Nope, invisibility.
All right. Here, how about this? At one point, you sort of like break off a little bit from the group, and you see that Vasticon actually fires an arrow at you, and he seems to be following you as you split away from the group. And then you cast invisibility on yourself, and he loses track of you, and then you immediately head back towards the rest of the group.
Hooray!
So you briefly put Vasticon off of the trail. That will be another success. And that will bring us to Gregthos.
Whew. Let's see. So just so I'm aware, because I think I might have been trying to figure out what was going on with Nikki's thing when what Seuss did happened. I know he failed the roll, so he got hit by the debris from the explosion that was created, and now the two are gaining. Is that what I understand?
They're always like sort of like you briefly get away from them, and then they somehow manage to catch up. Vasticon is very fast, and
Gotcha.
you guys need to go around walls and things like that, and Malgus does not. He
Gotcha.
sort of just crashes through things like the Juggernaut.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
But you are making headway. You've had a lot of successes. They're getting further and further behind.
So, while I'm running, am I able to look over my shoulder and see the individuals who are pursuing us?
Can, yes.
So I would like to look up in the direction of Vastican, and I will reach into my pocket and take out a small, straight piece of iron. And then I will turn and look in the direction of Vastican, and I will utter a small phrase under my breath, which I, off the top of my head, is going to be, where the fuck do you think you're going?
Okay.
I am casting Hold Person on Vastican,
All right.
and he needs to make a Wisdom saving throw, please.
Well, see, unfortunately, Hold Person works on people. Vasticon is not a person. He's vaguely humanoid shaped. But via this spell, you realize you find out that he is not the kind of being that this spell works on.
He is not people.
He is, in fact, not people. Well, all right then. I guess, realizing that, I will announce that to the rest of the party
Okay.
and continue running.
I hadn't even considered a spell that wouldn't work in the process of this, the creation of this skill challenge. It's called.
Well, Ryan, I found it.
I guess that's gonna count as a failure.
Cool.
So you stop and try to cast a spell on Vasticon, and he sort of like braces himself to get ready for a spell happening, and then nothing happens. And so you, in the process of doing that, had to slow down a little bit. And so he, at that moment, takes a second to knock 4 arrows at the same time and fire all of them at you. Hold on a second while I roll many
I'll tell you,
dice.
that sounds a little unfair, but okay. Just a little bit.
But you get for assuming he's a person.
You just assumed
You
his
know what?
species.
You're right. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. That's my fault.
But like 4 arrows all fire all around you. Well, I guess fortunately for you, unfortunately for him, only one of them hits you.
Ha-ha! Oh,
Not very good with that bow.
So one of the arrows hits just above your right bicep. And you are going to take... Actually, let me look at his stat block real quick and see how much damage that would normally do in a battle. Not very much, actually, because he's meant to be shooting 1 billion of them at you at once. So you are going to take 8 damage.
Ouch.
all right, not too bad. I'm okay with this. I mean, I'm not, but it could have been worse.
You are bleeding.
Are you kidding me? It's just dust in there now.
Oh, God. Zeus!
Alright. Zeus, after getting a rock thrown at him, basically is going to try and push through it, and by pushing through it, he's going to use Second Wind on himself to regain some of that health that just was taken from him.
Okay.
And that is a D10. So he will get back 10 health and basically negate it.
Nice.
And he is just gonna keep pushing through. He really can't do much other than run, so.
All right. How about this? At one point, Malgus crashes through yet another one of the buildings that you guys had to snake your way around, and he manages to get right up behind you and swings his hammer at Zeus. And Zeus, you are able to absorb the blow and keep running without losing any of your momentum. and that will count as a success.
Would you count that as a missed attack?
Yes.
So can I use my reaction?
Not right now. We're not actually in combat.
Okay. 'Cause I
Um,
have a reaction for missed attacks.
Maybe next time. Okay. We're gonna go back up to one more time. Emmy.
All right, I am going to use my insight to kind of see if I can pretty much like I mean it's going to be fast, but I would try to see if I can study their body language to kind of see what their next move is going to be, to kind of see if there's a way that we can like outsmart them or just do something that like would kind of just throw them off a little bit. So
Alright.
I just want to kind of see if I can study them and like you just try to figure out their body language to try to see
Alright.
what our next move is going to be.
Make like a small woodland rodent and go for it.
Ooh,
Nice.
that's good. That's a 18.
All right, that is going to be a success. So, with 7 successes, that is going to be a victory for you guys. Emmy watches, after studying the way that these guys have been pursuing you, Malgus always crashing his way through every obstacle you try to put in front of him, while Vastikan follows you up from above on top of the buildings. You manage to find a location in the city that doesn't allow Malgus to gain on you by crashing through everything, but still allows you to avoid the gaze of Vastikan. You go through a long hallway through a large building, and you're able to lose them as you turn one of the corners, and you are able to escape from them for now. At least you have lost sight of them, and they appear to have lost sight of you.
Hooray!
Oh, thank God.
Everybody okay? I say as invisible.
I say if we have some time, if we have any time to like rest, I kind of want to just heal myself real quick, just to be safe in case I decide to come back.
Well,
Yeah, we're out of eyesight now. Let's set up camp.
we can rest for like 2 seconds to cast some healing spells.
I
and
was
that's
saying we can keep walking. I'm just gonna go touch myself and be like, cure wounds. Okay, I'm good.
I will. How bad does Seuss look still?
Pretty hurt.
That's terrible.
Alright. I will cast Cure Wounds, which will break my invisibility at must do first level because I don't want to have no second levels.
Well, in the process of escaping from those two, you have gotten closer to the city, and the bright lights are shining even more through the mist. You've sort of always been able to keep an eye on where the city is at all times. It is a beacon from down here. You can see the lights even through all the mist. And you can now see that you're getting very close. You can probably be there in just a few minutes. All right, so you guys are able to see the city and you make your way forward. Exhausted, bruised, battered, and probably smelling terrible. You make your way towards the city and you find that path that you initially used to get out of the city, and you follow it back right towards the gates. And as you come out of the forest into the small clearing that is all around the city walls, you are immediately blinded by the spotlights from the top of the wall that you saw the keepers used to keep the beasts away. You hear shouting from the top of the wall, and hold on one second.
Your watch has ended.
Rissa, just in front of you, a ballista arrow. I don't know what those are called. They're not arrows. Whatever those big giant
Bolt?
arrows that bolts, a ballista bolt,
There you
whatever
go.
they're called, lands just at your feet. And you hear shouting coming from above the top of the gate.
How far away are they?
The wall is 60 feet up, and you are about 30 feet from the wall.
I point
So-
to one of the guards and use message and say, "We're back from our trip."
All right. Yeah, actually, I don't think you need to be able to see them with message, because you unfortunately cannot actually see anyone up there, because you've got bright spotlights pointing at you from above, and you can hear people shouting, "There's more beasts out there!"
No, it just says you point your finger towards a creature within range.
All right, so the guard at the top of the city wall, here's the message. What was it? We're back.
We're back from our trip that we just left from 24 hours ago. We're not a beast. Please open the door.
Let us in.
All right. You can briefly hear. It's somewhat difficult to hear. I'll actually
I
have
mean, he
you
could
roll-
respond in my head.
True. So actually, he's gonna see it. He's gonna say, "How do we know this isn't some kind of trick?"
This is Rissa Lanner. Open the fucking gate.
All right.
I can roll intimidation.
You know what? Go for it.
Mental
We're gonna-
intimidation.
We're gonna use this as a roll to see if he even knows who that is. If you roll high enough, he will know who that is.
28.
Oh well, he is
Damn.
definitely aware of the Lanner family, and knows that you guys left yesterday.
You'd think everybody in the city would know because this is like the first time this has happened in so long.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably some major gossip in the city. Like, you know those crazy people that went outside the walls? They're probably dead.
I mean, well, we'll see. But you hear some more discussion. There's people whispering at each other, some of them shouting at each other, and eventually they call the captain of the guard, Tristan Grady, the one who, the half-orc who saw you guys out and is the one who allowed you all to leave. He is called to the gate, and eventually they open the massive metal wall. So you hear the massive gate slide open, and then the portcullis is pulled up from the inside, and you are allowed entrance back into the city. The guards, a few guards are immediately pointing their spears at you, but they are allowing you in, sort of warily watching you to make sure you're not some sort of strange creature that can take on the form of others.
I feel like we need to set up a better way to do this so that everyone knows who we are when we come back, so that we don't have to get this kind of reception each time.
You said Tristan was the name?
Yes, he has now gotten down to the bottom. He was all the way up at the top of the wall. He took the stairs back down, and so he arrives at the inside of the gate just at the same time you do, and he says, "Well, hello there. We kind of assumed y'all had died when you were gone so long. Forgive my underlings here.
It's been less than a day.
Well, I was told that y'all were going to be back in a few hours, so
Yeah, we ran into a couple of things out there that, you know,
We needed to rest.
yeah.
I'm very old. My legs don't work quite as well as they used to.
very well. I was told by your patron that y'all should head immediately back to her tower for what was the word she used? A debriefing.
Can we?
I think I left my underwear out there, actually.
While we're here, can we set up? Emmy had a great idea. Can we set up something so that y'all know that it's us
Like a code
and don't
word?
shoot at us again? Because I'm gonna make somebody punch the guy who shot at me.
One of the guards standing behind him is trying very hard to not react to that. You can see just, yes, we will definitely find the person who did that. That mysterious person whose identity remains unknown.
I lock eyes with the guard.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be like a code word or something, like bananas. So I don't know.
We can certainly try to make some kind of a passcode or something. Did you have something in mind?
Well, we're called the Mistbreakers. I guess that's what our team is called. Is that what we're called, guys?
Yeah,
That
I
is-
guess so.
That is
Sounds
what
about right.
that is what Malira has called the group. You guys can call yourselves whatever you want.
If somebody randomly hears a message and it's Mistbreakers, then it's me. Or I could just say, I'll have somebody kill you. But I mean, I would rather be a little bit more friendly.
Unfortunately, I'll have somebody kill you is a message we get from the outside quite frequently. So, but
That's fair.
Mistbreakers, is a little bit easier, more easily, more that actually is something what he says. He stumbles over the words. That
I
is
was gonna say,
more easily done. I'll spread the word.
I was gonna say we might want to change that eventually, though, because if we become famous, maybe everyone will know who we
Fair.
are, and they'll pretend that they're us, and they'll say, "Yeah, we're the Mistbreakers."
We can have a different code word every week.
There you go. That's good.
Just gotta
Different
make sure your
path.
guards know what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just next time y'all go out, if you are planning on going out again, let the people at the gate know.
Okay.
Also, give us a little bit more time than a couple days because we do need to sleep to regain our abilities sometimes.
Right. Like I said, I was told that y'all were just gonna be gone for about maybe 4 hours or so. Just going to a place and coming back, but I suppose it makes sense that y'all would be held up out there. Honestly, I'm surprised to see y'all alive, but here we are. I do think y'all have accomplished something quite impressive. So, I guess the city is looking forward to learning whatever it is you found out there. But like I said, Miss Valtione said that y'all should head back to her tower immediately when you returned.
Let's go see Malira.
All right.
Yep.
All right, so you make your way into the city, and you are at the ground floor, which is definitely not a good neighborhood generally. There are certainly good folks living at all levels of the city, but this area sort of breeds a rougher folk. So you're making your way through rusted bases of towers and crumbling, basically a lot of makeshift houses assembled out of things that have just dropped from the higher levels. And as you make your way towards one of the towers to take an elevator back up to a more, let's call it, safe area, a few people stand in front of the elevator door as you approach, with their arms crossed.
We're here to see Malira, please.
Well, Malira is basically on the other side of town. Unfortunately, just by the way of this, the way that she put her tower in the western end of the city, and you guys left out of the north gate.
Gotcha.
So it's going to take you a little time to get back there.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
But you are trying to go back up so that you can take more of the skyways back over to the place where she lives. But
Gotcha.
the people blocking this elevator, as you approach, one of them says, like, "Now we don't like you people coming into the city after you have spent so much time outside in the corruption. Please make your way elsewhere."
I just look at them, move the fuck out of my way. I'm tired. I need a bath. I will make this guy, and she points at Seuss, or this guy, and points to Gregthos, hurt you if you don't
Emmy
move.
looks hurt.
This is just gonna keep
Point
on
at him.
walking straight towards the elevator.
Well, let's see. How about you roll intimidation for me?
I love how I use everybody else but myself. Because I'm not
Except
scary.
for Emmy.
Well, Emmy's not scary either.
No, he's not.
And Gregthos is?
Scarier?
Okay.
I mean, you are a Goliath. You're pretty big, so.
I'm currently nursing a dust wound in my arm.
Intimidation is a 14.
All right. The human gentleman who spoke to you is not. He does not balk at your intimidation attempt. The dragonborn standing just to his left puts out a hand to stop Seuss from walking towards the elevator.
I was gonna brush it aside.
Like Tiananmen Square style?
No.
Oh.
He was trying to stop Seuss. Are you just gonna try to push past him?
Yeah, basically like he doesn't even exist in my line of sight, and just walk straight.
Okay, well, he is standing directly in front of you. I guess that would, if you want to push past him, that would be an athletics check
Okay.
to just shove him out of the way.
But like a Pokemon sprite, just trying to fucking just smash into the person in front of him over and over again.
Yeah. Well, it's a natural 20, so 27.
All right.
Damn.
So when
Nice.
the blue dragonborn puts out a beefy arm to block your path, Seuss, you grab him by the wrist, spin it around, twist it behind him, and like briefly hold him in a lock for a moment, then push him out of the way. The other two immediately go on the defensive and try to make themselves look intimidating, but they are clearly surprised that you are so easily able to push their largest, I guess you could call it, their largest thug out of the way. And Seuss just keeps walking. But the human gentleman with the short black hair rushes over to help his friend up off the ground, and in the process just looks at all of you, says, "We will remember this. Let it be known that we do not approve of your dalliances outside the city walls. You are going to get us all killed, you hear us? Killed!" But you all make your way into the elevator.
As the elevator doors are closing, I'm like, with that attitude, you're gonna get yourself killed.
And he doesn't have time to respond as the doors close behind you.
Just a very old, shaky middle finger from Drake.
All right.
Zeus is gonna look in his pockets for a Swiffer and hand it to Gregthos.
Swiffer.
Swiffer.
Swiffer,
Swiffer
clean up
Super.
that dust.
The
Oh
dust.
God.
Oh. I appreciate it.
Silence.
Well, the magical elevators slowly rise up.
I have a very important question. Is there elevator music?
No, unfortunately, you just
I
hear
pull
the
out my flute to provide some elevator
Okay, we're gonna
music.
make our own then.
I'm just gonna go do 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 do.
to the dulcet tones of Emmy doing to himself, and
Don't say it like that.
oh God. You rise up to a middle part of the city where things are significantly cleaner as you step out onto one of the skyways. There are essentially roads, many roads, entire sections of the city that are built up on plates hanging over the lower portions of the city. And you emerge out into a much nicer neighborhood, but you are still going to have to make your way southward to get to Malira's tower. So you're going to have to take one of the trains.
True.
So you very quickly make your way over to train station up on top of the plate, and you are already given train passes by Malira to get yourselves over here in the first place. So you present those, and you get onto the magically enhanced train and head southward. As you make your way into the train, you find yourselves a relatively empty train car. And as you're passing through, you actually see what appears to be a middle-aged couple, the only other people in this train car. And as you pass by them, you see they seem to be having sex in the train. So it's that kind of seating available in here. But you make your way as far as possible to the other side of this
Wait a
train
minute.
car.
Just passing walking past that.
We're just
Yes.
like, oh, okay, bye.
I'm sorry.
Well-
I just love it's that kind of seating.
Yes, this is very clearly still not. First of all, it's not a frequently used train, and second, it's still not the greatest neighborhood.
I'm gonna go up to that couple having sex and be like, is this seat taken?
Emmy, actually, if you're actually doing that, I would like you to make a medicine check for me.
Oh, I'm actually good at that.
I don't like where this is going immediately.
shit, that's a natural 20, so it's a 25.
Okay.
Aw,
Jesus.
As you sort of
they're both dead. What?
you make your way towards past these two and say that little quip, and one of them sort of lazily looks towards you, and you can see by the glazed over look in his eyes that they are both very high on the new drug that is going around.
Would I know about this drug?
Let's see. Would Emmy know about the drugs spreading around the city? Probably. As a doctor, he would probably have some knowledge of the health hazards going on around in the city.
Yeah, I was gonna say if anybody's like OD'd on it, I'm pretty sure I've had a patient with it.
Yeah, probably for sure. And perhaps as an elf, you would know even more about it. You see, there is a drug spreading around the city. It goes by many different names. Essentially, there was an elf, a high elf, incredibly rich,
Very high.
very bored, and decided that he wanted to know what it was like to sleep, having never actually slept himself, and was always seeing all these other races all getting to experience these strange things called dreams. So, as an alchemist, he set out to do that and created a substance that, when imbibed, allows elves to experience a pleasant sleep. And started to sell it just as like a thing for like bored high elves to do to experience something new in their very long lifespans. Unfortunately, it turns out that when races that normally actually do sleep drink it, they also are put to sleep and have very pleasant sleeps, but it is the best sleep of their life. It gives you amazing dreams.
I mean, clearly.
And it just lets you relive the best memories of your life or experience new amazing things in your sleep that you couldn't possibly do in real life. And it is also highly addictive for non-elves. So there are people who are getting addicted to this drug that puts you to sleep and makes you have the best sleep of your life. It also, the side effects include sleepwalking and sleep doing and many other things, as you can see in front of you.
I'm so glad this this campaign has introduced D&D Ambient.
It also makes it very difficult to sleep without it once you have taken it many times.
I think we should call it Dambian.
These two are very clearly both actually asleep.
What is the name of the drug?
Well, like I said, it goes by many names out on the streets. Sleepy time is one of them, probably the most common one.
Of course it is.
It's also known as just the Dream, or a lot of things that are related to like Dreamweaver. I think the original name that the elf made for it was Elvish Slumber, but it goes by many names, like I said. But these two people are very much strung out on it. They're both actually asleep. Their eyes are open, but you can tell by the glazed over look in their eyes. And there's a telltale sign of like bluish drool that tends to come out of their mouths when they're sleepwalking, because the substance itself is a blue liquid. You can tell that these people are both asleep.
This is basically a normal Thursday for Greg, though, so nothing new here.
So I imagine I don't know if you actually want to sit next to these people, but
No, it was just a little joke as we were walking by, and then I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
Emmy, do you perhaps know prestidigitation?
No.
Damn it. I don't want to sit in these seats now. I'm just gonna stand.
Yeah, I feel I have sanitizer. I have hand sanitizer.
That would work a little bit. Can I pour it on the seats?
Sure.
I will do that.
I'm guessing as a doctor, I would have hand sanitizer or some kind of
you would
sanitation.
definitely have. I don't know if hand sanitizer is an exact thing, but you would definitely have soap at the very.
Just gonna like take this magic hand sanitizer that we have / soap and clean a spot that that Rissa can hold on to without touching anything else.
All right. So you make your way as far away as possible in the train car from these people, um, and clean off a couple of seats, and seat yourselves in this train car. The train very quickly starts moving again, and you are accelerated away from the northern gate. All right. So you're in the train. Eventually, the couple sort of dozes back off and is no longer having sex at the very least. So it's a sort of relaxed silence that only happens after just exhausting day. On your way back home, just waiting for you to reach your destination. And at one point in your trip, 3 gentlemen come into your train car. It's an elf with long blonde hair tied up in a ponytail, standing next to a human with a crew cut, and then next to him is another Goliath, actually, wearing basically just like a big fluffy vest, like it looks like a very fancy fur coat that was like stolen from someone, because the rest of his outfit does not match it at all. And the 3 of them stop near your group in the train car, and the elf takes a look at all of you, looks you up and down, and says, well, look at this fine group of young people passing through the train. It looks like all of you could use a little bit of a good night's sleep. What do you think?
I think you should walk on to the next train car.
I take offense of too young.
Forgive me. I lose track of how old the races are. Can't really tell the ages. It's a bit difficult. It's not a thing I'm used to experiencing. But I do take offense to your companion here's very rude treatment. It might make my friend here, and he points at the Goliath standing next to him, it might make him very angry. And trust me, when he gets very upset, it can be difficult to control him. And he sort of, the Goliath sort of like cracks his neck and sort of glares at you.
I crack my neck in response, but it doesn't react correctly. Like, I'm just kind of like, I actually hurt myself. Like, oh, I can do that too, see?
It's a real shame your friend here doesn't have control over his emotions.
As an elf, would I know the kind of the age of this other elf? Like, is he a lot younger than me? I'm 450 years old, so I don't know.
Yeah, he is definitely younger than you. He's
okay.
At most 200, at most.
Okay.
But probably younger than that.
I'm pretty much going to go, like, I'm not gonna even get up. I'm kind of like sitting cross-legged in the seat, and I'm pretty much gonna look at him, and I'm like, your friend doesn't scare us. We were just outside of the walls. We saw some shit, and nothing you could do could possibly scare us as much as what we saw out there. So just go away and leave us be.
The elf sort of like laughs a little bit and says, outside the fucking walls. Right, okay.
I'm gonna pull out like the bone of like the skull of that cat beast that I grabbed, and kind of just put it out at him, and it's like pretty much just showing him to look at it. Like, where the fuck do you think I got this?
He sort of looks over at the human and says, oh look, the doctor brought his specimens from his facilities. Oh my. Very scary.
I'm just gonna kind of roll my eyes and just look over, like, downwards.
Do I recognize any of them from my last few years of rallying about the town with the bad crowd?
It's a good way to put it.
Let me think. I think it's kind of unlikely. How about you roll? What would be? Let's just roll a d20 and add your charisma modifier.
I'm gonna go with a nope. That would be a 6.
Yeah, you've never seen any of these guys before. I mean, you're aware of their type. That phrase that he used when he walked up to you guys, like you look like you could use a good night's sleep. He's trying to sell you the
the
dream.
sleepy time drug.
Yeah, we gathered that.
Sorry, ambient.
champion.
I'm just gonna go. I've heard your spiel before. I know your type. Move along. We don't want to even deal with you right now, so please just leave. And if you can't deal with his temper, put a fucking leash on him or something. I don't care.
The Goliath standing behind the elf says, "Well, I ain't no fucking dog. She thinks I'm a fucking dog or some kind of fucking pet."
You're gonna bite when your owner tells you to, so yeah, you are.
We're certainly acting like one right now.
He turns to the elf and says, "No, I don't like these people. I think I want to crush them."
Can I do that, Master?
I'm
You're
sorry.
asking permission to crush him? Oh, that's so cute.
The elf turns to him and is like, "Right, well, hold on just a second. Want to handle this peacefully, don't we?" He just turns, "Why don't we just have a friendly business transaction? You give me a little bit of your gold, I give you some of the dream, and we all go on our merry way. What do you say?"
Or how about we give you a little bit of nothing and you get the fuck out of here?
He puts his hand over his heart and says, "Oh, very offended. I'm terribly sorry that we've wasted your time. We're going to make our way forward then on the train. You should all have a wonderful evening." And then he tries to punch you in the face.
I was gonna say insight check, but I guess I didn't
Everybody-
work anymore.
Everybody
We've
roll
surpassed
initiative.
insight at this point.
That fist appears to be it's a
Punchy.
very angry fist heading towards your face.
Well, I'm glad I understand its intentions. Oh, my jaw!
It's my favorite jaw.
My mother gave this to me.
All right. So anybody get 25 to 20?
I got a 21.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Marissa.
For once, I'm not going first.
All right. 20 to 15.
I got a 19.
Emmy is 19.
Seuss got 18.
18. Zeus.
15 for Greg Thos.
All right. Rissa, you see, you can very obviously see that this gentleman is about to try to hit either you or Seuss in the face. It's difficult to tell from the angle he's swinging, but you have time to react to it first. What are you doing?
I'm going to look at him and go, to see things from your perspective, I'd have to crawl around and sniff asses, so I'll pass as I cast Vicious Mockery on him.
All right. Vicious mockery.
So wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw for this elvish gentleman. That is going to be a 16.
Damn it. That passes.
So he seems unfazed by your insults. He's probably heard a million things just like that his whole life.
So he doesn't take 5 psychic damage.
Okay. He
That sucks.
He untakes 5 psychic damage. That is going to... Well, is there anything else you would like to do? Bonus action, movement. This is a very small train car. In fact, it's only about 10 feet wide. So all of you in the train car are like taking up like the entire walkway. You can walk like down further the train car, but you're all sort of cramped in here.
Is anybody still hurt?
I am, but I mean, I can heal
Seuss is a
myself.
little bit, but I think he'll be okay.
I will cast Healing Word on Greg Thos then as my bonus action. And he will heal for 7.
Oh, not 73. There we go. Okay.
Damn.
That was a hell of a healing word.
They're right on top of me right now.
Yes.
Okay, so I can't really move. Actually, I will move. I'm just gonna take a couple of steps back to take the opportunity attack since I'm full health right now.
All right. So then, Mr. Elfie Elferton is gonna get an opportunity attack against you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his actual name?
No.
I'm writing it in my notes anyway.
In my notes, I'm writing Elfie Elferton.
All right. Go ahead. All right.
Elfie Elferton - drug dealer. Got
All right. So he rolled a 12 plus an additional 5. That is going to be a 17 to hit, which I believe is enough to hit you.
Yeah, I'm a squishy one.
All right.
What kind of
so,
weapon does he have, by the way? Or is he just punching?
He actually, at his hip, has a scimitar.
Whoa.
But
That's
right
a
now he's just
crazy
punching.
drug saver.
Which if he's not a monk, it's only 1 damage, right?
No. Mechanically, he is slashing at you. I was just the swinging at you with his fist was a flavor thing to start off the fight.
One can hope.
But you're gonna take 6 damage.
Okay.
He's just got a bunch of tiny scimitars strapped to he's Wolverine, but it's a bunch of scimitars taped to his knuckles.
Right. Exactly.
They're like the little the olive picks in some of these wine glass, except
Yeah.
they're little plastic scimitars.
It's Pirate Day.
Arr.
All right. That is going to bring us to Emmy, who is up next in the initiative order.
I am going to look at all 3 of them, and then I am going to cast Bane on all 3 of them. So they must make a Charisma saving throw.
All right. So I'm gonna go the Goliath first. He rolls a charisma saving throw. That is going to be a 13, which I don't think is enough.
No, it
So
is
he-
actually. It's just enough.
Oh, okay. So he succeeds. All right. Now the captain, or whatever you want to call him,
Alfie
Alfred.
rolled. He rolled a 20,
Damn.
and then the last guy rolls a 2. So
Okay. So
That
at least
one
one
passed.
of them. So one of them has to make they have to roll a d4 on any attack roll or saving throw they make for up to
Okay.
1 minute.
all right. So the human
out.
man with the crew cut has been baned. All right.
Pretty much the way I cast it is like I prick my finger and I kind of just like point it towards him because I have like a big like wad of blood on my finger now. That's how they cast the spell. So
All right. You flick some of your blood at him, and he is sufficiently freaked out that his attacks and saving throws will be reduced. That is going to bring us to. Oh wait, unless there's anything else you'd like to do.
no, I think I can do.
All right. So Seuss, you're up next.
Alright. Does the train have windows?
It does. You can see
Cool.
the city passing by you. You're alternating between like bright, glittering, beautiful city and rusty slums. And sort of just weaving in and out of both kinds of neighborhoods.
I am going to try to pick up the guy who just tried to punch us or stab us and throw him out the window.
All right. That is going to be an athletics check then
Okay.
to attempt to, I guess, do a shove attack would be the mechanical thing for this. So he's going. I'm just checking what if he has. Nope. Okay. So I'm gonna roll,
I got a 19.
and he got an 8. So you managed to grab him and push him back up against the window, smash his head into the window, and break the glass, and push him. He manages to grab both hands on the sides of like the window. But if you were to just give him one more push, he's gonna be out of the train.
Alright. And then I think that'll be it. I'm just going to be staring at him like super
Don't you have a second attack?
intensely. Well, that's. Yeah, I mean, I guess if it counts as a second attack, I will push him all the way out.
All right, that's gonna be one more athletics check to see if you can push him out the window. I'm gonna say he has disadvantage because you've got him on the ropes.
Cool. Come on, good roll. 23.
Ooh, you just beat him. Even with disadvantage, he rolled a 19 twice,
Jeez.
but that brings him at a 21. So you give him one more push, looking him straight in the eyes, and his fingers slip, and he is pushed out of the train. And you hear as he flies out of the train. The Goliath that was standing next to him says, like, "No, Captain Elverton."
Well, that we've gotten some fresh air. How about you guys move on?
All right. That's probably the end of your turn, unless you have a bonus action you want to do.
That is it.
All right. Greg Thost, it is now your turn.
Huh.
All of you rolled higher than all of them.
Well, that's awfully unfortunate for those individuals. I think at this point, I would just stand up from where I was seated. It's been a long time since I've spoken, evidently. And I will just kind of, like, I'm trying to find a way to do this, to explain what I'm going to do.
but it's more of a visual thing. So I'm to you guys who can see me, I am just going to stand up, turn to the now open window where their friend just flew out, and just kind of go,
Presenting the window.
yeah, present. Thank you. That's exactly. Yeah, that's what I was
Presenting
doing.
window.
Yeah, thank you. And that'll, I mean, I guess in some small way that could be considered intimidating.
Oh, you're okay. You would like to try to. Okay, then. Gotcha. Okay, so go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
Okay, cool. Oh, I'm not good at intimidation. Great. Wish I would have looked at my character sheet before doing this, but here we go.
No, that makes perfect sense, and that is in fact very intimidating. Like they are scared of you now because you've just killed their captain.
That's an 18, actually.
Ooh. The gentleman, the human man who's now staring mouth agape at the window, looks at you doing that, and is like, I'm fucking out of here. This is too much. I'm not taking this shit today. He just like puts his hands in his pockets and just walks away. Just walks down the train car, past the now sleeping couple, and it just completely leaves.
Smart man.
Boy.
The other guy does not seem to have been cowed out of the fight. He is actually slipping on a pair of what looks like a set of brass knuckles. It's like, you're going to pay for that, and slipping on his brass knuckles and getting ready to use them.
You said the human man was still there, or the Goliath?
The human was the one who was just like, nah, I'm done with this.
Oh, damn.
All right, but that is going to bring us to the Berserker's turn. And he is going to do a reckless attack, actually, against Zeus, because that is the one he perceives as the biggest threat.
Yep.
So he's.
I mean, I'm taller technically, but that's
you are taller, but you didn't just push his coworker out a window.
No, but I did present the window very nicely.
So he's going to attack recklessly against you. It's a good thing he did because he rolled very low on the first one. That is going to be probably still not high enough. That's actually a 13 to hit. Is that going to hit you, Zeus?
No.
All right. So
Not at
you
all.
see him slip those brass knuckles onto his fist and try to swing at you. But you can obviously see it coming. He's definitely not a trained fighter like you are. This is he was taught to fight on the streets, not by a professional master. So you duck underneath his wildly swinging fist, and now he's just wide open for you to make a counterattack because he swung
Yep.
recklessly. That is going to
I'm
bring...
going to use my reaction to riposte.
Okay, good.
Let's see. And that just lets me make a melee weapon attack against him.
Cool.
It is a 18 to hit.
That will definitely do it.
Okay. Gonna be 17 damage.
All right, 17 damage on your large friend. All right. So, as you duck underneath his wildly swinging fist, you draw your sword in the same motion that you use to hit him with the side of the blade, crack directly on the side of his head, knocking him to the side, and his eyes briefly cross for a second before he shakes his head and tries to steady himself.
Take down, dog.
That is going to bring us to Rissa. You're up next.
Zeus just fucking Inuyasha our opponent there.
I really think you should just walk away, but
Trying to scare him off?
yeah, intimidation.
All right, go ahead.
I have advantage because he's like being hit by Zeus.
No, I think most of the time when you're fighting people, they're gonna be being hit by Zeus.
That's
so-
fair. I got a 26.
All right, a 26 intimidation check. I'm gonna have him roll against it, but I find it very unlikely that he is going to succeed. In fact, he rolled a natural 20, and it's still not enough, so I don't know why I rolled it at all. He is going to like sort of shake his head and look at all of you basically surrounding him in this train car, and is just going to crack his knuckles, take off the brass knuckles, and look at you and says, "We ain't gonna forget about this. I know your faces."
Honestly, I'm surprised. that you can remember that long.
And he is going to turn around and go back the way he came in the train car. So now the two guys have gone in opposite directions to leave this encounter. But you guys managed to fight off these group of drug dealers.
Huzzah.
Two people still
Congrats.
sleeping.
Yep, they are still totally asleep. You solved my drug dealer puzzle.
We did
That's
it.
copyrighted.
I was really hoping you were going to say that he took off the brass knuckles and cracked them.
I'm done fighting. I'm gonna go live a better life. You made me see the error of my ways after killing my owner/boss.
I'm gonna go get a treat now. And drink out of the toilet.
All right. So you plop yourselves back down into your seats on the train and take a deep breath.
Didn't even get a decent train ride without some problems. I just, I can't handle it.
The train finally makes it to the station in the Valyanar Quarter, the area where Melira has built her tower, or, well, bought a section of the tower, more like. So you make your way over to the elevator, and this one is built in a much more beautifully constructed way. This one has this whole area is basically glowing. There are glowing street signs everywhere. That it looks like a red light district almost. There's signs advertising all sorts of magical and non-magical solutions to all of the woes in your life. There are street cleaning golems sweeping aside the oil dropped by the mechanically powered carriages carrying the rich folks back and forth. But you make your way past all of this hustle and bustle. It looks like you've arrived somewhat early evening, and you approach the elevator that will take you up to the high tower where Melira has created this base of operations for the Mistbreakers. You sit in yet another elevator, wait for just a few more moments, and this one actually goes up significantly faster than the other one because it's in a much better part of town, and you finally make your way up to the lobby where Melira has set up her base of operations. You emerge into a familiar foyer where one of Melira's assistants, she very quickly stows away something that she appears to want to hide from you, and very quickly pretends to be working again, and looks up at all of you and speaks up. This is the same woman actually that did your interview, Seuss, when you applied for this position in the Mistbreakers. And she says, "Oh, you've all returned. It's very, very good to see all of you. We thought that we'd lost you. Give us just a moment, and we will summon Melira and have her. Forgive me, Miss Valtium, and we will make sure that you can have yourselves debriefed and give a report of what happened out there. Give me just a moment." She looks like she's like a little sweating and nervous.
What's wrong? Did we catch you at a bad time?
No, nothing's wrong. Everything's there's nothing to worry about. Just wasn't expecting to see you. Unfortunately, when you were gone for so long, we sort of assumed that we lost you. So
Insight check? Even though I'm really bad at insight?
Go for it.
21.
21. That is pretty good. You can tell it looks like she's been drinking on the job, and she is trying to hide it. Like she's a little bit red in the face and sweating just a little bit. And you got a brief glimpse of the thing that she was hiding in her desk, and it looked to be like a flask.
I pull out some mint from my bag because I'm sure that's like a breath mint type of thing, and go, "You may want to use this. It'll help."
She looks very embarrassed for a second. She's like, "Thank you very much. Give me just a moment." She pops it in her mouth and says, "I'm going to go fetch Miss Valtium." And she bustles off into the room behind her, leaving you in this very fancy foyer.
Sorry, I was just imagining like every manager ever when they walk up to their employees' desks and they're on their phone, they're like, "Oh shit,
Yeah,
I didn't do
basically. But this room is immaculate and very fancy. There's actually a portrait of Miss Valtium on one of the walls, looking very fancy and regal almost, as she lounges in a fancy chaise. But a few moments pass, and Miss Valtium bursts through the double doors leading into the rest of her section of this tower. And she says, "Well, I almost didn't believe it. Welcome back, y'all. It is very much a pleasure to see y'all. Please do come in. I must hear absolutely everything about what you've seen out there. Come on. So she leads you further into the Mistbreakers headquarters, where you first met her. She leads you up into the large room with the circular table with windows facing out on all sides. She bought out this entire floor of the tower, which would all know, is incredibly expensive. And there are, once again, the spy glasses pointing out in all directions so you can scout out areas. But for now, she ushers you all to sit at the large circular table and seats herself in one of the chairs. Please, do sit. I want to hear absolutely everything that you have to say. And that is where we're going to end our section.
I was gonna say Rissa sits down and kicks her feet up on the table.
I was gonna ask if there was a fainting chair.
There probably is. She is definitely the kind of person that has a fainting chair, even if she has never fainted in her entire life.
I thoroughly enjoy that almost every single individual we've come into contact with since returning to the city has been, "Oh, you're alive."
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't
I
expect
don't know
us
what to
to
do
come
with this
back.
information.
And the people who don't go, "Oh, you're alive," they're like, "Oh, you're still alive. I'm gonna try and kill you."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let me fix that.
Hold on, you're alive?
No, I need to make a phone call. Excuse me.
Thank you so much for checking out Behold Clearlight, our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play game. This world is brought to you by Ryan and played by a group of friends who are just looking to have fun and share our love for the tabletop world. Every other Thursday, we will release a new episode of Behold Clearlight. On the off weeks, Greg and I join other members of the TTRPG community and play non-D&D games. You can also check out Greg and I having random discussions on topics in the TTRPG and D&D world with guests on Mondays. If you enjoyed this, please don't hesitate to reach out on Twitter or on Facebook at Beholder to No One. Also, give us a review on iTunes or follow us on Podbean, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Keep being awesome. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Sorry, I muted myself so I could drink an entire bottle of water.
It just
I'm-
like
I'm a very thirsty boy. I've been working all day.
That's fair. Good on you.
I just want the episode to, like, after the pause, that's the first thing that is said. Like, you edit out everything before that
Pause.
except that.
I'm a very thirsty boy.
I will
So
try to do
said,
that for
I'm
you.
a very thirsty boy.
Just put that at the end of the episode with no context.
No, it'll be at the beginning, at the end of your recap.